The Speaker of Zimbabwe's parliament says he's received a resignation letter from Robert Mugabe. Mugabe's been in power for 37 years, but he's been under great military and popular pressure to quit. Parliament had just begun impeachment proceedings against him when he apparently quit, which must be a surprise and a relief to the people of Zimbabwe. These are live pictures as we listen in to people celebrating in the streets. Our Margaret Evans has been on the ground taking all this in, bringing us the news for days now, and she joins us once again with the latest from Harare. Margaret, how are people reacting to this news?
Well, John, I've just stepped right out into the street, so maybe you can hear behind me. We were actually inside downtown doing an interview with the opposition leader, Morgan Tsvangirai, and we stepped outside just as the news broke. And the entire city is going mad. People are running out of their offices, out of shops. Big groups of people are running down the street. Their flags are starting to come out. People are honking. The sun is starting to go down. And so the whole city is sort of lit in this golden light, which is pretty symbolic, I guess, to the timing of this. I think all day long people have been standing outside of the parliament. I don't think anybody thought it was going to happen this quickly because Mugabe refused to resign before on Sunday. Everybody thought he was digging in for a long haul, a constitutional fight, because he would have had the right to answer that charge, that impeachment. But he's full of surprises, and that letter was sent. And as I said, this is a city going wild.
Margaret, you paint a dramatic picture. We're looking at video, in fact, live shots of people in the streets celebrating, holding up posters that say Mugabe must go. They've wanted him out for a long time now. But at this point in the country's history, what will happen now?
Well, I think what will happen now will be a whole lot of drinking of beer tonight, I think. People are just really got smiles on their faces everywhere I look. The day after tomorrow is another matter. And people have said that to me in the recent days, especially on Saturday when we saw hundreds of thousands of people on the streets. They all said, we don't know what's coming next, but allow us this moment, which is a moment of liberation. It is freedom for us after 4 decades. All sorts of people, generations who've known no other leader but Robert Mugabe. This afternoon, I was speaking with a 50-year-old man. He's been unemployed since the mid-2000s. He said, you know, I used to work for a shipping company. The economy has been destroyed. Sanctions have destroyed us because of that man. I still don't have a job. A lot of people are worried that the man who's picked to replace Mugabe, Emerson Mnangagwa, is cut from the same cloth. That might not be the same. People are worried about potentially a military takeover of the institutions of power, but they also say something had to go. What happened, this coup, if you want to call it that, because the military certainly won't, was a necessary evil for people to break free of Robert Mugabe. I think what we'll see next is a statement from the military and certainly a statement from Emerson Mnangagwa. Earlier today, he issued a statement saying he's not willing to return here until he was given guarantees of security. Presumably the army, which backed him, is going to be able to give him those guarantees. When the Zanu-PF sacked Mugabe as president of the party, they put Mnangagwa in. So he will be coming over, and I think we will see them start to move to a point where he could become interim president. As I said, we were just talking with the opposition leader, Morgan Tsvangirai. He said nobody should see this, what's about to happen, as the opposition joining forces with Zanu-PF. Even though they sacked Mugabe, they're part and parcel of the dictatorship that has existed in this country for a long time. So I think we're going to see some bumpy days ahead, but not before a whole lot of celebrating.
Margaret Evans, thank you so much for being on the ground for us and for bringing us that breaking news. We're just going to listen in a little more to the stories of Harare, the sounds of Harare outside the parliament as the people receive the word that after 37 years, 93-year-old Robert Mugabe is no longer their president. Let's have a listen.